Hi, welcome to the second video of my Mind Games series, in which we look at the belief that the past determines the future. Now, most of us would argue correctly that we have some power and some influence right now in the present moment to create the future that we want. We can make choices and take action steps and express our preferences in such a way that we do shape what we want and make it come into being. But most of us probably also have experienced that there's some limitation in our ability to create what we want. And that limitation comes in large part, I believe, from our belief that the past is stable and unchangeable and already set. And the reason we believe that is because most of us, most of the time, are operating inside of the construct of the mental energy field. Now, the purpose of the mental energy field is to help us navigate our way in the physical world. It's not a creative energy, it's a reactive energy, which means that the mental energy field pays attention to what's happening, creates some meaning, understanding of what's happening, and creates strategies to help us stay as safe as possible. Because the mental energy field has a linear understanding of reality, it also has a very strict construct of time, which is A goes to B, goes to C, and you can't go back to A because that's already happened. Therefore, the mental energy field looks at the past and says, well, you can't change it. We're just going to adapt to it, which is what it does best. And that results in the mental energy field creating strategies that limit what you're allowed to do. So if you, for example, experienced a traumatic loss as a child, like the loss of a parent, then your mental energy field doesn't see any way to fix that. So all it can do is try to strategize so in the present moment, you don't have that happen to you again. And the strategy might be, for example, not allowing you to have long-term meaningful relationships because you might have the loss again. Another strategy might be for you're looking desperately for love to fill up that void that was left behind. Either way, those are working against what may be your true goal, which is to have a meaningful, long-term, mutually responsive relationship. So in the mental energy field, that's really the only thing it can do is try to make do with what's best. Luckily for us, we are not limited to the resources of our mental energy field. We also have access to the much larger spiritual energy field, which extends well beyond our physical bodies and our mental energy. The spiritual energy field is not responsive in its action. It is creative. That means it can do new things and bring new things to life. And the spiritual energy field knows how to access all parts of ourselves. It's not limited to a linear understanding. It can access all parts of us at all times. Now, the reason that memories are problematic to us is not because they have happened. It's because they are currently happening to us. What I mean by that is the memory is alive. There is a piece of you alive, left alone in that memory. When we are young and we have a traumatic event happen, we don't have a lot of resources available to us. And so what we end up doing is cutting off a little piece of ourselves and leaving it behind. So that part of us can stay suffering while the rest of us moves on and tries to function without it. And you actually can get away with that for a long time. You can function and do things with your life and feel pretty okay. What usually happens is when you're entering into a place of your life where you're ready to be empowered, you're ready to create something really meaningful, and you're empowered to do that, you discover that you have left behind a piece of you that you need, and that is creating limitation. That's when you know that you have to take care of this unfinished business. And the spiritual energy field knows exactly how to access those pieces of ourselves and rescue them from the memory and bring them and integrate them back into the whole self. Then the memory becomes just a dead memory. It's something that happened, but it has no impact on us any longer. Now, what's good about this, obviously, is that the limitation is released. But what's extra good about it, which we don't always expect, is that we gain back some of these gifts that we lost as children. You know, we think about children as having these amazing gifts of laughter and joy and uncensored love and magical thinking and dancing and, twirling in circles, all these amazing energies that we associate with childhood. Most of us don't seem to have access to as adults very readily. And that's because that part of us got cut off. So when you integrate that part back into your larger self, suddenly you can have access to those things. Suddenly you discover you do look around the world with young, fresh, innocent eyes. And it's a huge blessing. And it's hugely helpful when we're trying to be creative in the world, because that's the kind of energy you need to really get your juices flowing. So if you've discovered that you're at a point in your life where you are longing for change, you're longing to do something, and you can feel kind of the emptiness of something not being present, it's probably you. It's a piece of you that got left behind, a part of you that can very easily be rescued by your spiritual energy field and brought to bear on your current situation. It is an amazing gift, and I love it when I work with people and that happens. So I encourage you to think about whether you're in a position right now that this is important for you, it needs to happen. I do have an amazing tool that I've provided in the partner blog with this one, which is into the membership area of my site. If you're interested in learning more about that, let me know. And I can also walk you through the practice myself, which is even more helpful sometimes. So yeah, I look forward to hearing how this impacts you and how you're interacting with this mind game. And I invite you to join me next week when we work with our next mind game, which is Contentment is a Virtue. Hope to see you then. Bye.